Hey Sainers, and welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the round 14 match preview where we take on the Western Bulldogs on Thursday night. Primetime football against the Doggies. We're fresh off the bye. They're fresh off a disappointing loss against Hawthorn. So this should be an interesting game. Rumour has it Sam Darcy will return. And the last time we played them, he was out. Probably second quarter, they subbed him out. And that was the game. Bont returned. Now we're going to get Sam Darcy most likely. But on the flip side, we are going to regain the services of Jack Sinclair, our most serviceable midfielder this season so far. Filippo not going to get up for it. Liam Stocker is a test. So there's a chance we can see McRae and Stocker get in a bit of experience against a pretty well-drilled team in the Bulldogs, although they find themselves outside the 8, which is surprising considering I had them kind of top 4 form only a couple of weeks ago, and that's how close the season is. That's how tight it is in the top 8. You drop a game or two, you're out of the 8. And if you win a game or two, you might be talking top 8. So we're in that position where if we get on a bit of a run, we've seen it all before, post-bye, the Super Saints turn up. Is that going to happen this time around? I'm not too sure. But last time we played the Ds. Ds were pretty good yesterday against the Pies, and we beat them pretty comfortably. So I'm just kind of still living on that high a little bit. When you've got the bye, you get to soak it in a little bit more without jumping to the next game. There was no next game for us, but it's a big test considering our form against the Dogs of late. Last time we played them, they beat us by 71 points. It was a disgusting game. I don't want to talk about it. Before that, they beat us by 60. Before that, we beat them by 51. And then I dare say before that, they beat us by a lot as well. So every time the Saints and the Dogs play under the roof, it's a thumping for one team or another. More recently, it is the Bulldogs. Last time we played them, I checked before, we allowed them 427 disposals to our 340. They had nearly 100 more touches of the ball. And when I was thinking about this game and how we can beat them, or at least be more competitive than what we've been, it's denying them the football. Not deliberately to the point where we're chipping it around and too afraid to give them the ball, but making sure that we break even in as many contests as we can, because last time and the time before that, it's been all the Dogs. Like, I think they had a record inside 50 last time. We had one of the all-time lows for at least a half. We couldn't get it in there. And we just struggled to do anything with the footy when we got it because their pressure was so good. They were so efficient. But this time around, watching the way Hawthorn kind of went about it, how they sort of stopped the Dogs from possessing the football and they pressured them whenever they had it, got them on the turnover, and we all know football is really built on contest and turnover, and Ross likes to stress that a lot. We've got Naz and Sinks, one of the better ball users in the competition, and congratulations, Jack Sinclair, 200 games, sensational player for the football club, and rightly so is getting a lot of attention around the competition because he is, to me, one of the best players in the competition, one of the more consistent players with Cal Wilkie in the competition, and we are very lucky to have him. And to think he was a rookie draft pick, and he's turned out to be just a sensational St Kilda player, 2-time Trevor Barker medalist, 2-time All-Australian, maybe 3 for both at the end of the year, we don't know. That's a sensational effort and a lot of games to come. Sinks he seems very durable. He doesn't miss a lot of football. I reckon he's got 300. I reckon he can do that. So another 5 years or so of Sinks would be great. But back to my point, I just feel like we kind of always play into the hands of the Dogs when we come against them. And like last time we played them, we came out of the blocks. We went fast. I don't know if that invited them to go fast. And if it's a shootout, I'm backing the Dogs. Like, no offense to us, to our boys, but if it's a shootout, the Dogs are winning. They've got Norton, Darcy, they've got Bont, they've got a lot of players forward of the ball that can hurt us. But we've got Cal Wilkie, we've got Naz, we've got Sinks in the back half. So the back line, for the most part, holds firm. It's just denying the Dogs countless inside 50s. And that is on what part of the ground, Sainers? Yes, correct. You guessed correctly. We're doing an interactive thing here. It's the midfield. So if the midfield brings it, which they've done against Melbourne, they did it for a part of the game against Carlton, 2 better midfields, I think then we can actually do something there. Do we try and tag Bont? I don't know if he can be tagged with anyone we've got. I know Windy did a great job on Cozzy, but Cozzy's not Bont. Bont can go forward, and it's a complete mismatch with Windy. If Cozzy goes forward, same height, same size, you can break even there. But if it's Bont v Windy in the back half and their forward half, we're in trouble. So I don't know if Steele decides to go head-to-head with Bont. Maybe McRae, he's 6'2", 6'3", is probably closest in height. I would have said Filippo, but he's not going to play. That's a disappointing one because that would have been a great matchup. And then they've got Treloar that goes through there. Obviously, Ed Richards is a superstar, and that's the thing with the Dogs. You focus so much on the Bont that you forget that they've got these other blokes like Leber, Richards, Treloar. These guys that can go in there and hurt you. And Ed Richards, I think, did a number on us last time. Bont, it was his first game back. He did a number on us, was like the best player on the ground. So the midfield, it really needs to lift. And, Marshall, it goes to him as well. Marshall, on English, that's going to be a very interesting one. And obviously, what we do forward to centre on our end, Sharman, Owens, Keeler, who was great against Melbourne and should play full forward again. Caminiti back. What do we do there to negate the intercepting sort of power of Rory Lobb, who's been really influential for the Dogs? Maybe we put Sharman on him. At least Sharman will try and sit on his head and take a specky, makes him a little bit more accountable. Owens has got that physicality about him. Maybe he goes a bit deeper in this game and get him sort of one-on-one with Higgins and Butler. And Butler, again, first game back last week or the week before, was sensational. Took all of his chances, only had 5 or 6 kicks for the game, kicked 4 goals, and we're going to need more of that. And pressure. We cannot see them rebounding. Johannesson, these guys, we cannot see that quick rebound from the Dogs. If we see that in the first quarter on countless occasions, that means our pressure's off. That means the midfield's not working because they're cutting through too easy. And the forwards, in particular, aren't working. I'm not worried about the back half. I think we'll battle. We'll break even as much as we can. But it's about stemming the bleeding, if there is momentum with the Dogs, and what we can do to stop that and combat that. And to me, that's start fast but maintain it. We started fast last time, hit them between the eyes, but then we stopped. And when I say we stopped, we literally left the field and didn't come back. So I don't know how to feel about this game. I'm pretty nervous, but I feel like the Dogs... It wouldn't surprise me if the Dogs went through that form where they started slow, then just went on a crazy run, looked like the best team in the comp, and now this is where they stop a little bit, or at least they have a few hiccups before they maybe kick in again towards the back end of the year and make a run for finals. It's absolutely winnable for us. On form, obviously the Dogs are the better team. That's in the betting. But to me, this is just a really great challenge because we have form against this team that we generally struggle against. And this to me is a sign if we can overcome that and be competitive, maybe win, then that's a step in the right direction. Like Melbourne. Melbourne had won quite a few in a row since 2019, I think. And then we go there and we beat them. That's a good sign. We've got to beat the Dogs because if this is a repeat of basically the last 4 or 5 times we've played them, that to me tells me we haven't learnt our lesson against them in particular. We haven't put in the research, and whatever we've done, they just keep trumping us every single time. And I know their list is better, so you can just win on talent, but I want to make it difficult for them. So let's make it difficult. Let's see if we can put on a show for Sinks' 200th on Thursday night. Hopefully get a decent crowd. First game back since our good win against the Ds. They want to bounce back and get back into the top 8. So it's a big game on both fronts for teams. So get down to the game if you can, Saners. I'll be there. Hopefully after the game I'll be celebrating big time. If we get up on this game, this will be one of our better wins of the year, I would have thought. So under the roof, the Dogs, generally formidable, but I think maybe Hawthorn showed a little chink in the armour there just for Ross to look at and go, I think we can do something here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But on that note, I'll leave it there, Saners. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your support with all the content coming out this week. It's a shortened week, so a lot of content is coming out very quickly. So I appreciate you tuning into as much of it as you can. And I'll see you after the game. But until then, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.